Hello, readers. I'm Sudha, Aka Love to Read, back with the new season of Bookethon. You can listen to my previous episodes on Amazon Music and Spotify. So, let's start our first episode with an author who has four books in her name. She's a wonderful contemporary romance author who I think is fond of second chance romance. I'm saying this because I've read two of her books. Both are superb, no doubt, and one has just released, and both are my favorite, of course, second chance romance. So without much delay, let's welcome Shabitha, a doctor by profession and a writer by passion. Hello Shabitha, welcome to my podcast.
Thank you for inviting me to the podcast. Though, to be fair, it was less of an invitation, more of a motivational show from you, because I had a dramatic protest. I said my voice was hoarse. I have a very charming inability to complete a sentence without a curse word, and all others I try to hide behind. So thank you for ignoring my nonsense excuses and pushing me to participate in this amazing podcast episode. And I'm really excited for your questions.
Oh, that's nothing. Just wait and just see. Maybe someday you'll host a podcast with me. So anything can happen now. Okay. So, my first question. So, you are a doctor by profession. How did writing come to you?
It's a very fair question. And also, many had asked me this before, why this unusual career combination? To be honest,
Mm,
I face many things in life
mm,
with a little serious note.
mm,
So, for years, my husband and my mother had this brilliant suggestion. You should write a book about your life and it will definitely become a hit. That's their suggestion.
mhm.
Though it sounds flattering, autobiography, it's never been my thing. In fact, like it is probably one of the genre I am least interested even to read. So I wasn't eager to sit down and document my entire life. I am writing a medical case report starting from like this, and that. No, that's I am never going to do that. But anyway, they put me through the thought that I should write a book. There
Mhm.
was one day my husband, during one of his trips, he does a lot of trips. So during one of his trips, he bought me a book with the title, it says, Build a Story, a Writer's Workbook. I
Oh,
got little curious, so I was reading it like my every other book. I'm a nerd, so I love to
uh,
read a book. So, and then it kind of like he said, whenever I'm reading, he said that, okay, stop talking about writing the book, actually do it. The show, another show apart from you. So
mhm.
that's when it clicked. I was going to write, and it is going to be a fiction, specifically romance, my favorite genre.
uh,
Because in romance, I get to break my characters,
Correct.
drag them through emotional chaos, and give them the healing they deserve. So that's what all the
Mm.
romance does, right? So anyway, what we do, heal the characters and heal along with them, and
Yes.
sometimes heal them the way you once healed yourself. So that maybe someone else reading their story can find the courage to do the same. So this was my motive to write the book in general.
Wow, excellent. And someday I think I'll also start reading that book which you have given. I'm not a writer
Sure.
though, but I would like to read what exactly is in that book that motivated
It-
you again now.
It's really like a workbook that how to create a character, give them, from head to toe, like the hair,
Oh,
nails, skin color, or how you develop the motivation, conflicts. It's about overall. It's a good
wow.
workbook. In fact, all the debut actors, they can really write them. I mean, read them.
Oh, superb. I'm sure that all the new authors who are listening to this will surely benefit from this. Lovely. So, but you told me that you are a mom. You are a mom and you're a doctor, and being doctor is not easy. So, how do you make time for writing?
Oh, yeah, that's a million-dollar question, I'll say. Managing work, writing, toddler is no joke. People like us do understand,
Mm,
but the people around us does not seem to realize that. So that's one honest truth. And
mm,
it's basically like a full-time circus where you are the ringmaster, the big bear with the tiny circle and also the clown. Your
Yeah,
face, smiley on the face, but you continue working, though you cannot smile.
exactly.
But I'm
Very.
lucky in a way there because I
Mm,
have two angels in my life. First is my mom.
okay.
She's quite literally passed her life and come to stay with me and my son because we live in the small region and
Mm-hmm.
helping taking care of him and sharing the daily work of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is my son himself. He may be an adorable little monster at times, but he is also a surprisingly understanding kid. When I sit down to write, he usually lets me be. Unless he
Oh,
is hungry or couldn't locate his favorite toy, which of course then become a red alert kind of emergency. Anyway,
yeah,
kid is a kid without a tantrum, right?
correct,
So
correct,
because
correct.
of two of them, I'm able to carve some time or to focus on my writing.
Superb. Wow. So now coming to this genre you write, the second chance. Any story behind it? Because I have read two of your books and both are second chance romance. And I really love them so much. They are unique in their own way actually. I've read many books, but somehow I found these two books somehow I found them very unique. Like different. I'll tell about that. It'll take a lot of time. I'll tell about that some other time. But both the books were excellent. So, how did is there any backstory to the second chance romance?
Uh, Actually, Second Chance is the one I have published so far, but there are more journals upcoming. But Second Chance is always my the favorite. So
Oh,
where did the idea come from? Is that have you heard of the term kintsugi? If I'm pronouncing it right.
yeah, Kintsugi. I have heard that it is about the broken mending the broken pieces, right? Some art. It's a Japanese art.
Perfect. It is. Actually, it's a Japanese art where the broken pottery or any object which is broken,
Mm,
they repair it by using the gold. So instead of hiding the cracks, they highlight them with the gold, so turning the damage something into beautiful and valuable. So that's
wow,
exactly how I see the second chapter.
wow,
When two
super.
people with very broken hearts and
Mm,
souls, they don't need to pretend they never shattered, right?
mm,
Because it happens all the time. We all
correct,
have the heartbreak.
right.
But what they deserve is the gold. Here,
Mm,
the gold, I mean the love. To bind these structures together, the scars are to prove that the scars are something not to hide, but
mm,
they become part of the beauty and something adorable. Sometimes the place where the broken becomes strongest and become the most meaningful part of them, even for us. Because
yeah.
there is a book on Kenshugi.
Mm,
It is, I guess, it's seeing strength in the imperfection, something like that. I read that book, and it is a description of one part. It's about how they do the pottery, and the other
mm,
part is a guide that how we can do with our heart. So it's the same way how I see it. When you do that, when the pieces are put back together with a lot of work, even
mm,
the one with a broken heart, and they look at themselves, like the mirror moment, and
mm.
they'll think that, wow, I'm actually more beautiful with this scar. That's the point of the second chance.
Wow, so good. It is so inspiring actually. Many people should even read this, then the self-loathing and all will not be there if they read this. Many people they spend more if they are heartbroken or something. Half the time we spend in self-loathing, say thinking about it. Oh, why does it happen to me and all. But this is really good. I'm loving this. I'll surely try to read that book one. Thank you so
Sure,
much, Shabitha.
anyone who must give a try on this book because it's one of my favorite books and it helped me to heal actually.
Wow, really very good, very good. So readers, do listen to this. It's a book on King Sui. What is it called? Yeah,
Kintsugi, even
King.
I'm not sure about the pronunciation. I believe
Yeah,
it's so.
it's a Japanese art and there's a book on it. Don't miss this. Do read it. So okay, now, so do you get time to read? You write. You are a doctor. You're a mom. You do your course at home. So do you really get time to read your books? And who is your favorite author?
If you ask this question to my husband, he will say like, my wife read anywhere, everywhere, anything. So, but to be honest, I might be a doctor, mother, wife, a daughter, a writer, but above all of them, I'm a reader.
Correct.
I started reading quite late in my life. When I was in school, I almost failed in all the subjects. So I think reading is not for me. So when I went to college, I dedicated most of my life studying medical books. I had to pass. But after I graduated, I had a hardship in life. So that is the time I actually started reading and tried to explore different type of journals. So once I started reading, it quietly became my therapy. So since then, books have been my constant escape, comfort, or anything you want to call it. Sometimes it even came my inner monster. I already upgraded from my inner animal to the inner monster. So it takes that.
Right.
And I wouldn't say reading for anything, even if I want to take a break from my work or pass my writing, even I say my son, go to sleep and then go back to read, I would do that. And
Perfect.
to be, I'm a little obsessed with even the Kindle reading streak. Last I checked, I guess I somewhere around 215 days a week and 38 days, 38
Wow.
weeks.
Wow.
This is like
Too
my
good
Olympic
this is.
gold medal.
I swear this is too good. I do read every day, every readers, all the readers listening to this, they may relate to it. We read everywhere. Like I'm so stuck in the work and all, I get irritated. I take the Kindle, go into the washroom, stay there for an hour and then come back. I read like that sometimes. It is, but this is too good. 215 days streak, about 38 weeks. Wow. I need to break this someday.
This is therapy. That's how the therapy works.
Okay.
And regarding your second part of the question, as
Favorite
for
author.
favorite authors, yeah, I don't really do favoritism, to be truthful, because for me it's simply anyone who writes truly a good book earns my respect. And by good book I mean like not the character development or the dialogues or anything. No, it just simply means the kind of book that makes me to buy it on the release day and finish it in one sitting. At least even one single sentence, it stays with me in my heart. That I call it as a good. If any author can do that, then they definitely earn my time and my respect and a very loyal reader for it.
Wow, superb. So, like that, actually, I don't have favoritism. I have many of them. So, okay. So next going to the other one. I have been on Instagram for quite some time, but very recently I stumbled upon your book and I spoke to you. So when was your first book released and why were you not there on internet all these years?
Yes, actually, when it comes to social media, I always joke around my families that I am 1,000 years old. Like I am way behind in social media. So actually, my debut was Two Shades of Khaki was released in November 2024. Actually. At
Okay.
that time, I absolutely had no idea how the book world works.
Oh.
Marketing, beta readers, bookstagrammers, blogs, all of it was like completely foreign to me. But all I really had was my book and a very motivational husband who believe in me just enough to say, publish it. It's okay. We will see.
Yeah.
So I did. And then I waited for someone or anyone to read it. The first few copies were bought. I was very excited. Then I came to know it was by my sister and my friends.
Okay.
So that was my entire fan base at the beginning.
Okay.
I was quiet for almost 2 months, but I was kept writing anyways. I thought that maybe my other book or some other day, some motivation. But then one savior in the form of friends, he came to our house for a visit and then he gave a very honest opinion. He said, your book is good, emotion is good. He started with a good pace and then finally he said it's very monotonous. It did not give me the push to go forward. I said, okay, that won't be a lie, but it still stung me.
Correct. Yeah.
But I appreciated his sincerity. If he did not come up and tell me that it is monotonous, I would have not improved, and you would have not called me that my book is exciting.
I
Instead of
yeah.
letting it discourage me, I
Yeah.
pushed it to learn how to write better and avoid that monotony. So for
Mm-hmm.
that, I took a couple of writing courses on Udemy,
Mm-hmm.
and that gave me clarity and some techniques, even and some insight into book marketing also. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how I slowly came to a page called Bookstagram. So that was
Yeah.
new to me. That is the time
Mm-hmm.
I learned,
Mm-hmm.
and then because of that, something beautifully happened. I found my reader.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them even become like a genuine friends and almost like a sister. Like I'm
Correct.
not saying this just for the sake to sell my books. I
Yeah.
truly mean it from the bottom of my heart. Some of them they read the book and come back to me. It's just they could just post their review in the Instagram and finish it, but no, they will come to me and write a
Correct.
message and tell me that, oh, your book is amazing. This word it affected me. You know, some or even when they are reading, they will simultaneously send me the screenshot and they say laugh, they cry, and
Correct.
that I felt like my victory. So,
Right.
and also even you, that you send me couple of screenshots and tell me like, Vicky, this
Yeah.
is so good and this could be improved. That is
Yeah.
what I want as an author.
Really, I enjoyed the book, The Two Shades of Khaki. It was so good. I have immensely enjoyed. I'm ready to read it second time also. It's such a
You
good
would
book.
not say the same with the first version of the book, but anyway.
So I'm lucky I read the second version and the best one. So I'm lucky for
Uh,
that. Okay, so now let's talk about this new release. I have read that also and I loved it. It is a full circle. I'm not going to reveal much because it is a new release. So you tell me how much like it is so smooth. It is like once you start, you just can't stop that book. So like it. So you tell the readers the tender relationships. How do you do it? How do you write? I mean, managing all these. There is emotion in it. It is like a roller coaster. So how do you write all this? Like, what inspired you to write this
love
book?
one, love once forgotten is actually my risk, I will say, because it's about a mature love and 50 plus. So for writing
Mm,
50 plus love story, it can't be like any, like adult story. Because I have to
mm,
handle it with care and the maturity. It should not be shown as like they are desperate people. Like
correct.
still 50, especially if you take Mira's character, she is 50 and she was not married.
Mm,
And she had one past and it left her with a scar. And Veera is the same, that he is also is 50 plus and he had one previous past and then it also left him with a scar. So when
mm,
these two people come together and put together in the place where they are unavoidable,
mm.
it should not be shown to our readers that they are desperate.
Yeah,
That should be handled with a care. And I say that is the risk I took in that book.
and
But I'm glad that
you
it came
played
out
it.
good because people appreciated me.
Yeah, very nice it is. I mean, I'm sorry
So,
for stopping you, but I just want to, before I forget, I want to mention this. I have read many books. The part where they both meet on the flight, right?
yeah.
That part you have handled it so beautifully, like there was no rushing, both taking time and recognizing the other one. Oh, that was really so good. I loved that bit so much. I again went back 2 3 times, read it again, to feel it, because I also imagine the characters in my mind. So I have the picture in my mind there. So I'm just reading that again and again. That one part I loved it too much. And then I won't reveal, but then the later is also too good. Perfect book it is.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And also, you asked me another question that where do I get from ideas?
Yeah.
Actually, why I bring that question is that because I have a crazy answer for that, so I don't want to lose the answer. So I
Oh no,
bring
no,
that
I'm all ears.
what is that my stories like generally not only for this book because the story ideas come from everywhere for me, like everywhere. because I have wildly active, overactive imagination, and sometimes I dream and then that refuse to leave my head until I pen it down.
Mm,
Sometimes this is the important part actually, but most of the times it is the people around me.
mm-hmm,
I'm naturally more of a listener.
mm,
I am something like an unofficial counselor. Don't think of the one with the professional, polished kind of words where that you will sit with one-on-one and discuss. No, it is like very version mode, full of curse words and then dose of sarcastic, take that woman kind of counselor. So I am that.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
somewhere in the conversation, I start seeing stories actually. Of
Wow.
course, I still give them the practical advice when someone needs it, like
Mm,
do this, like a practical, like reality kind of advice.
correct.
But my brain also comes up with a very romantic, slightly fictional solution to their problem.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Uh, wow. Mm-hmm.
And who inspired it probably would not recognize themselves. So far, I have been taught, and hopefully it stays that way. Fingers crossed.
Mm, okay. Cool. So nice. I am really enjoying this conversation. So, um, when is your next book? Can you tell me about that?
Oh, yeah. Next book. Actually, I'm working on two projects currently. And
Uh-huh.
those who read Love Once Forgotten, they might already have a little hunch about what's coming next. The
Yes.
next book will be about Ishan and Ananya.
Uh-huh.
So if you may ask, their story is going to be quite a ride,
I
and
guess
it
that.
will be little steamy too. I broke
Wow.
my, that risk taking. I took the risk on this book, so I made it little steamy. Because
Okay.
Ishan and Ananya arguing with each other, let's just say they're bickering would sound like a verbal foreplay. uh,
Oh, wow.
and the another project is that I am translating my debut novel to my native language. I'm trying to translate to Tamil. So I'm not
Wow.
sure which one will come first. So stay tuned and get ready.
Superb. Okay, lovely. It is really. I I can't understand or read Tamil, but yeah, I'm waiting for this Ishan and Ananya's book, and I am like I'm very eagerly waiting for this book to read. So with this, we can wind up this session, Shabita, and thank you
Sure.
so much for joining me on this podcast.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Honestly, it was amazing talking with you. I wasn't nervous at all because I was before, like when you invited, but throughout this conversation, I wasn't. But you somehow made it feel like a casual girlfriend style chit chat rather than an interview. I'm definitely more of a writing person than a talking person. Only my close knit knows well how my intense my mouth can be, but with you it felt easy and calm. And truly
Yeah.
appreciate that. And also, I appreciate your initiative on the podcast. Keep going on and keep rocking. It's amazing initiative, and many authors like me they would benefit. And also your blog, they are excellent and amazing. Oh yeah, let's not forget about your honest reviews.
Reviews.
It's like
Thank you
gives
so
more
much.
motivation. Thank you very very much.
Thank you so much. So, okay. So, readers, hope you enjoyed this conversation with Shabee. So, now pick the book, read it, and don't forget to review that. They deserve it, and you deserve it. So, do follow my podcast, like, share it with your readers, friends, and I love it. Thank you so much. See you, Shabita.
See you soon.